afternoon, everybody on ASTV. Thanks for joining us here this beautiful afternoon. We'd rather be doing this outside. Maybe we should have tried this outside, Sam. 19-degree weather. Feels like spring. Sam Cortes with Sport Manitoba. How are we doing today, Sam?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing?
Fabulous. Like I said, I'd rather be swinging golf clubs, but nonetheless, it's always great to catch up on the monthly events of what's happening just off Pacific Avenue at the Sport for Life building, as well as throughout the province with sport or lack thereof. Speaking lack thereof, got a bit of unfortunate news this past weekend with some current restrictions and whatnot, some more closures. Give us an update with what's happening with the building and perhaps what's going on around the province.
Right. So as you mentioned, just recently, some new health orders in effect. So for the Sport Manitoba facility, we have a couple different closures within the facility right now that is until at least 3 weeks, until the end of May here. So that's the courts, the flex space, and the meeting rooms, the Sport Manitoba Fitness Center, our Performance Center, the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame remains closed at this time. And then just a reminder that the areas that remain open in the facility are the Sport Manitoba Clinic, our print hub, the Conica Minolta print hub, and the parkade, of course. And then with various protocols within every different sport. So just being mindful of what, those changes are specifically to each sport throughout the province. But those are some of the changes that are happening right now until the end of May.
Till the end of May, that's right. Hopefully we get to see some lifting of those restrictions because we need to make sure that we get as much time in with this beautiful weather inside and outside to make sure we're performing at tip-top shape.
Absolutely. Yep.
Speaking of news that's upcoming, we also have our annual scholarship deadline that's coming up at the end of the month. A little bit of good news. Give us a little bit of details on some of these scholarships that are available through the Sport Manitoba program.
Yeah, so it's that time of year we're doing our scholarship intake. The application process opens up and we encourage people to spread the word and share with their members. So this year we have the Manitoba Foundation for Sport Scholarship. So it's for graduating high school students who are entering post-secondary institution. And then we also have coaching bursaries. So there's going to be one male and one female coach, a student coach from the Winnipeg region, and then a male and female student coach from rural Manitoba who will be selected to receive a bursary, and it's $500 toward their tuition. And the deadline to apply for that is coming up on May 28th. And you can go to sportmanitoba.ca/resources. It's under the athlete resources there. So, and we've also been sharing it on our social media as well. And I wanted to mention too the Women to Watch grant, which is a $500 grant to help female athletes, coaches, sport volunteers, officials further their chosen sport involvement. So the application deadline for this one, for the Women to Watch grant, is June 15th. So that you can find at sportmanitoba.ca/coaching/resources, all on our website as well.
Great news. I'm sure Nolan and I will touch base with that in our June newsletter, our podcast as well, because that'll be in the middle of June, that last deadline. So good to watch out for that. As always, a little bit of change always helps when you're getting into university. Lord knows. It's always a little bit tough when you go through those couple of first years. For sure. We have our Hall of Fame spotlight, and it involves a gentleman named Mr. Ralph Linden. Tell us about Ralph. Tell us the spotlight and what's going on behind the scenes with the updates in the gallery.
Yeah, so our next inductee spotlight is on Ralph Linden. He's a 2020 inductee as a multi-sport athlete for hockey, lacrosse, and football. He was also coach later on in hockey and football for many years as well. So we recently put up a story on Ralph, a little bit of his background in all those different sports on sportmanitoba.ca for the Hall of Fame section. So encourage you to go check that out. As far as the gallery, sort of a little bit behind the scenes. So we've been closed for because of the pandemic for a while now, for the past year and a bit. So the gallery has been undergoing some renovations for the Decades Gallery. So changing up the paint, adding a lot more text describing sports in Manitoba through the decades, created more digital content as well. And the Decades Gallery goes as far back as the late 1800s all the way to the 2010s. So we've recently added that as well. And so hopefully when we can open it back up again soon here, being hopeful, that's something really that we want people to come check out, those renovations. So that's really exciting.
as much as this pandemic has kept us away from everybody and not being as social, the digital aspects and creating this platform that we're able to use from the use of our computers, our tablets, our smartphones certainly has brought more attention and more information about history of sport here in Manitoba. So it's truly something we've been able to work on, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And also with the Hall of Fame, I just wanted to mention as well, the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame will be hosting a online playoff hockey box pool with the top prize being a Winnipeg Jets game for you and 15 friends in a Bell MTS Place luxury suite for the 2021-2022 season, courtesy of the Johnston Group. So to be considered for the top prize, you have to e-transfer $20 per entry to Hall of Fame at sportmanitoba.ca by May 19th. And you can enter as many times as you want. So for more details and all the links and everything to enter to do that is sportmanitoba.ca, the Hall of Fame section. You can find all of that information there.
And that was just put on today, correct, Sam?
That post was up today, yeah. So you can go check that out on our website.
So if you like your hockey pools and you like going to see a hockey game in real life, hopefully we can do that in the upcoming season. Just got to find 15 of your closest friends, right?
Yes, hopefully, yeah, the next season for sure. That'll be something to look forward to.
As the Jets limp into the playoffs here because they haven't had the greatest of records, we also have to talk about our second favorite sport, and that's golf right now. Because if you're not playing hockey swinging a stick, you're swinging a different kind of stick. And what perfect timing for our next Sport Manitoba podcast to talk about golf medicine.
Yes, absolutely. So Nolan sits down to chat with Sport Manitoba Clinic's physical therapist, Brian Buffy, who he's also a former member of the U of M Bison's men's golf team. And he kind of gives a little bit of a background and explains the golf medicine program that is offered at our clinic, in the Sport Manitoba Clinic. And I highly recommend checking that one out, especially if you love golf and you're interested in what the program has to offer. That's available, the Sport Manitoba podcast, anywhere you listen to your podcasts. And that's the latest episode that Nolan has up there.
No doubt. And I'm sure it's just the fact that you get to walk 18 or drive 18 in the beautiful sunshine would be medicine enough for a lot of people as well. So go find some sticks, listen to the podcast while you're swinging away, and maybe grab some tips, right, Sam?
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a good listen. I encourage you to go check it out.
Last but not least, the Kidsport Sweepstakes and our Stories from 150 Years Sport in Manitoba book by Sean Grassie. Give us some details on what's happening with that.
Yeah, so Kidsport Manitoba. So 1 in 3 Canadian kids actually are kept from playing organized sport just because of the high cost associated with it. So Kidsport aims to really reduce this financial barrier by granting out money to help cover registration fees. So this Kidsport fundraising initiative is a part of a larger sweepstakes, but there is a guaranteed local prize winner. And 50% of all ticket sales go directly to Kidsport Manitoba. So that ends on May 28th as well. So a little bit longer left of that. You can go to kidsportcanada.ca/Manitoba to get tickets and to find out a little bit more information. And then a reminder, tomorrow is Manitoba Day, the 12th of May. And what a great time to get the 150 book, Manitoba 150 book, that's called Iconic Stories from 150 Years of Sport in Manitoba. Cost is $20.20 to represent the 150th birthday last year. And all proceeds go to Kidsport Manitoba, and you can find that online at kidsportcanada.ca/Manitoba as well.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, exactly.
I still have it. I'm still working on it. There are some really great stories. Sean and I, there's even, I just flipped by to a golfer. Look at that. Probably Dan Halderson's up there, as well as Glenn Notchick. I don't know if that's related to Jeff, but Glenn Notchick's in the book too. So definitely some local golfing stories. If you haven't checked out the courses, I'm sure they're all opening very soon. Sam, with this wonderful weather, what are you looking forward to most? Just getting out and just taking a big breath of fresh air, and one of the activities you enjoyed the most?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, yeah, just getting out there in general. But, as we've been chatting here, I'm really looking forward to golf. I'm looking forward to getting better and getting outside and just being able to enjoy that outdoors. So that's probably one of the things I'm looking most forward to this summer for sure. How about yourself?
Summer for sure. I mean, I'm hoping to hit the ranges up soon and get on a couple of links in the next couple of weeks. But of course, doing that safely and with the right orders and the right protocols in place so we can all get to enjoy each other's company sooner than later. Really would appreciate, that message being stayed strong, and just remind everybody to, take care of themselves. I mean, bottom line is if you're not feeling well, stay home, do your best, and then if you are able to get out and get some fresh air, do that as well safely and with the right protocols. Sam, really want to I'm missing my swimming. I really want to hit the lakes and get swimming as fast as I can. That water's a little bit chilly still. I mean,
might be a little cold now, yeah, but
yeah,
for sure.
Just a tad chilly, even though the waters are down, but it's cold. I'm not gonna lie. Stuck my feet in there. I'll gladly put some shoes and socks on and wait a couple more weeks. Sam Cortes with Sport Manitoba. Thanks so much for joining me again this month. Again, any information that you're looking for, please check out their website. Lots of great links, easy to navigate, lots of pull-down tabs, sportmanitoba.ca. Check out the resource section for your bursaries, your kids' sport news as well, and all the major organizations. I think Janet and I talked about saying that there's close to 80 provincial organizations that run through Sport Manitoba, and not just in Pacific Avenue, but also the partners and all the groups involved. So do help them out. Thank you for taking care of us always and preparing everything that we need to. Sam, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you're going to make it a good weekend, and hopefully we get to see more warmer weather here shortly.
Yes, I hope so. I think so. I think we're getting there to summer. So thanks, Theo, and take care. It was nice to talk to you again.
Absolutely. Sam Cortes here with Sport Manitoba on ASTV. Always free to watch. Check us out next month as Sam's other half of Sport Manitoba, Nolan Cole, will join me to discuss events in June of this month. Take care. Take care of yourself, and have a great rest of the afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.